Hello and welcome to MBC News with me, Arthur Chokoto, alongside Zavuta Wirima, Masha language interpreter tonight. Our top stories. United Nations Economic Commission for Africa calls on Southern African Development Community SADC member states to utilize the region's abundant resources in driving economic growth and industrialization. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, reaffirms its commitment to support Malawi in tackling public health challenges. And Inkosi Amakosi Mbelwa 5 calls on communities living around Kanyika niobium mine in Mzimba and Kasungu to unite in order to adequately benefit from mining activities. Well, many thanks for joining us. The Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Clever Gatete, has called on Southern African Development Community SADC member states to utilize the region's abundant resources to drive economic growth and industrialization. Gatete pointed out that Africa can achieve development more easily through resource integration. Meanwhile, the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Clever Gatete, has commended the government of Malawi for its efforts in developing the country. He made the remarks during a meeting with President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera in Zimbabwe. Blessing Shelauka with the details.
President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera is attending the 44th SADC Summit and has also held bilateral talks with various leaders, including Clever Gatete, the Executive Secretary for United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. The Executive Secretary praised Malawi's development progress and expressed the Commission's commitment to supporting the country's growth.
Yeah, this is a meeting between the ECA. We are so honored to meet the President and his team. And what we want is the cooperation between the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa and Malawi. It's a great country that has great potential, that is very rich in agriculture, that's very rich in minerals and other areas. And we wanted to see how we can have strengthened basically, because we've been supporting Malawi in many areas, including the establishment of the special economic zones, and now wanted to support in terms of also macroeconomic management and also other areas that are very key for the development of their own economy. It's a country that's the leadership is very much committed. The leadership has a focus. It needs support, and here we are ready to support them in all areas, including technology and also the other areas coming up, so that they can be able to benefit from the continental free trade area, but also they can develop faster than they are doing now with using the modern technologies.
President Chakwera also met with Zimbabwean President Dr. Emmerson Mnangagwa and discussed ways to strengthen ties between the two nations.
Happy to pay a courtesy call to my brother and tell him I'm in town, and he is always magnanimous, and he said, you are home, so I'm happy to be back home here. And we talked family business, and so how best we can serve our people and how best we can respond, even as I gave him congratulations ahead of time because he's now going to chair SADC. So,
what are your expectations as Zimbabwe?
Oh, my expectation is that we will continue to rally behind our leadership as a region so that the regional integration agenda becomes a reality. And you can do that with the innovation emphasis and the industrialization emphasis, and for us to be able to trade amongst ourselves the best of all.
He also interacted with Malawians living in Zimbabwe, encouraging them to contribute to their home country's development. He assured them that his government has spearheaded different development projects which are changing the face of Malawi. President Chakwera is in Harare, Zimbabwe, for the SADC Summit, which has attracted participation from 16 member states and development partners. Blessings Chireuka, MBC News, Harare, Zimbabwe.
Well, many thanks to Blessings Chireuka for that report. And the 44th SADC Heads of State and Government Summit has just been officially closed actually a couple of minutes ago. And moving on, President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera leaves Zimbabwe tomorrow for the Vatican and the Republic of Germany, where he will perform a number of official duties. A statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says during the visit, Dr. Chakwera will hold discussions with His Holiness Pope Francis and His Eminence Pietro Parolini, Cardinal Secretary of State of Vatican City. Well, the statement further says President Chakwera will later engage heads of international institutions based in Rome in order to continue garnering support and partnerships for Malawi's development agenda. Well, the ministry further says from Rome, President Chakwera will proceed to Berlin, Germany, where he will hold bilateral discussions with the President of Germany, Frank-Walter Steinmeier. He will also engage officials from the German government, business executives from the Frankfurt Chamber of Commerce, and officials from Germany Shipping Company on prospective investment in the development of modern vessels for Lake Malawi. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs says President Chakwera will leave for the Vatican via the Robert Mugabe International Airport, and the President's return to Malawi will be announced later. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting Malawi in tackling public health challenges. IOM's Chief of Mission, Nomagugu Hanyana Ncube, said this at an interactive breakfast meeting held in Lilongwe, where she highlighted the organization's continued initiatives aimed at improving the health of highly mobile fisher folk and communities around Lake Malawi through the Fish Folk Project. Maya Sochikadzula reports.
Speaking at the meeting, which also served as a platform for disseminating findings from a recent IOM study which investigated why lakeshore districts in Malawi were more severely impacted by cholera compared to upland regions, Ncube said high mobility of fishermen and other fisherfolks is a significant factor in the spread of diseases. Ncube said population mobility mapping was conducted to help government understand and prepare to respond to health challenges, particularly those related to water and sanitation.
We conducted what we call a population mobility mapping in the 3 districts of Mangochi, Salima and Katangay. These are districts along the lakeshore, and they're characterized by seasonal migration trends where people move in and out of these districts in response to the fishing season. And what we found was amongst that is that the population tends to shoot up during the fishing season more than what the district uses in their planning and projections, and this creates an increased demand for services and has the potential to exhaust much quickly the supplies and services that are available in the district.
Hans Katengeza, Deputy Director for Reproductive Health in the Ministry of Health, praised the IOM for its timely research, noting that the insights provided would significantly enhance the government's ability to respond to public health threats.
Most of the times we take interest to get the findings and then look into our approaches, the policies, the guidelines, to see how best we can incorporate those findings to make sure that that finding alone should trigger an action at the end of the day.
The study was conducted in the lakeshore districts of Mangochi, Salima and Nkatabe, with support from various partners, including the Norwegian and U.S. embassies, among others. Maya Sochikadzula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Minister of Local Government, Unity and Culture, Richard Chimwendo Banda, has urged various tribes in the country to remain united for continued development. Banda made the remarks when he represented the state president, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, at this year's Mdaukwa Tonga Cultural Festival at Msani in Nkadabe district. Chisomo Manda was there, and he now reports.
Smartly dressed in their trademark clean black and white attire, The Honara dancers were invited to join the Minister of Local Government, Unit and Culture, together with anyone who was dressed smartly at this year's Mdaukuatonga. In his speech, the minister reminded Malawians to remain united as the country progresses economically. He said culture or tribes should not divide Malawians, emphasizing that Malawians are one. On this point, he said the chiefs have a big role to play in unifying the country.
Peace is very paramount. If we want development in our country, we can't develop without peace. We can try everything else, even if you have got gold or silver. But if there's no peace, that's why other countries, they have all the minerals, but they can't develop because they don't have peace. So we should cherish peace. And therefore our chiefs are custodians of our culture, but also they promote peace. But we also take advantage of these gatherings because we don't have chiefs alone. We have all the citizens coming together. You can see how beautiful it is that people from Chitipa, from another tribe, are here.
In his remarks, the chairperson from Mdaukuatonga, Professor John Karengasaka, said the association will collaborate with the government in taking care of the environment. He mentioned that plans are underway to construct a museum, school, and other structures at Msani in Kadabe, a site recently acquired by the association.
We will establish a center for Mdaukuatonga culture, or Mdaukuatonga, and therefore we will be able to construct here a set of facilities, including a museum, a small library, and small houses which depict the culture of the Tonga people. And therefore, all our efforts will now be concentrated at this place. And therefore, the youth, the children, particularly those coming from the primary schools or secondary school, should be able to visit. Others from elsewhere within the country and beyond, they can come and appreciate the Tonga culture.
Meanwhile, President Dr. Lazarus McCarthy Chakwera has donated 5 million Malawi kwacha to the Mdaukuatonga Association. The event was spiced up by various Tonga traditional dances. Chisomo Manda, MBC News, Nkatabe.
You're watching MBC News with me, Arthur Chokoto, and my sign language interpreter, Zavuta Wirima. Remember, you can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. A reminder of our top stories. United Nations Economic Commission for Africa calls on Southern African Development Community SADC member states to utilize the region's abundant resources in driving economic growth and industrialization. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, reaffirms its commitment to support Malawi in tackling public health challenges. And Inkosi Amakosi Mbelwa 5 calls on communities living around Kanyika Niobium mine in Mzimba and Kasungu to unite in order to adequately benefit from mining activities.
It keeps getting better and better. After successfully opening Maranatha Capital Girls Academy, your request to open Maranatha Capital Boys Academy has come to pass. Welcome to Maranatha Capital Boys Academy, situated 50 kilometers from Lilongwe at Mponela Trading Center. We uphold our promise to produce the best in all students, a perfect diet, a conducive learning environment with dedicated members of staff is what we stand for. Turn that dream into reality by joining Maranatha Capital Boys Academy. Register now while places are still available by contacting us on 0888 993 232, 0993 832 832 and 0991 276 273. Maranatha Private Academy. We set the pace, others follow.
Malawi Police Sacco aiponyera kwakuya ulendo uno mwapya wa Victoria Falls Promotion. Victoria Falls Promotion. Malawi Police Sacco Victoria Falls. Kali modzi mwa anthu amphumi mwapya wa Victoria Falls Promotion omwe ndi malo amodzi mwa malo ochititsa kaso muno mu Africa. Siso kaso kuti Defy Cooker komanso 210 liters deep freezer. Paliso mphoto zina zomwe zizaperekedwe kwa anthu fola amphumi pa mwezi uliwonse kuyambira June mpaka na November 2024 monga ma golf shed komanso maflasika apamwamba. Kuti mulowe inu tangonjezerani mashares anu ku Malawi Police Sacco ndi ndalama yosachepera 300,000 kwacha. Ngati musanali membala wa Malawi Police Sacco lowani lero kuti zabwinozi zisakuphonyeni. Promotion iyi ilipo kuyambira pa 1 June mpaka na pa 20 December 2024. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri imbani phone ku 0992 308 090 komanso 0993 738 858. Mukhozanso kupita pa website yomwe ndi www.malawipolicesacco.com. Ndondomeko komanso malamulo zizatsatidwa. Malawi Police Sacco, saving and growing together.
Welcome to St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela, where we prepare our students for the future with excellence, diversity, and innovation. St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela offers a wide range of academic programs that cater for the interests and abilities of our students. Our teachers are qualified, experienced, and dedicated to helping learners achieve their goals. We have 3 schools under St. Peter's Private Schools. We have a primary school, boys' secondary school, and a girls' secondary school at your disposal. Science and technology are crucial in today's world. We have audio visual learning facilities, state-of-the-art laboratory, and a modern and well-equipped library. At St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela, we also celebrate our diversity and our culture. We also prepare our students for the next stage of their lives. So what are you waiting for? Join us at St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela today and discover your potential. St. Peter's Private Schools in Mponela.
Banking is more than just transactions. It is about a business.
Welcome back, and moving on. Inkosi Mbelwa 5 has called on communities living around Kanyika Neobium mine in Mzimba and Kasungu to unite in order to adequately benefit from Kanyika Neobium mining activities. The Ngoni Paramount Chief was speaking at Kanyika Secondary School in the area of Inkos Mawilawo in Mzimba during a community development agreement signing ceremony with Globe Metals and Mining Limited. Chimwemwe Milulu has the details.
Communities living within the radius of 20 kilometers of Kanyika in Mzimba and Kasungu, where Globe Metals and Mining Limited will be extracting niobium and tantalum, stand to benefit from the mining proceeds through the Community Development Agreement CDA the concerned parties have signed. After presiding over the ceremony, Inkosi Mbelwa 5 encouraged the communities to unite.
The mining itself is in Mzimba, but when you look at the qualified community, is 20 kilometers radius, which is crossing into Kasungu. So I was just reminding that these boundaries should not divide us. Let us all benefit from this mine, be it in Kasungu and in Mzimba as well.
Chairman for Globe Metals and Mining Limited, MacLeod Nyirongo, says niobium and tantalum are rare earth metals used in various high-tech applications.
Niobium is a product space engineering. Niobium and tantalum are used in high-tech technology to produce energy.
George Manea from the Ministry of Mining says being one of the country's strategic sectors, mining is expected to spur the country's economic growth.
We will see Globe Metals signed its Malawi Development Agreement in March last year. This year we have also seen also 2 companies coming in, Lotus and Mkango. So it is a demonstration that the Ministry of Mining is sticking, is really performing, and within the ATM agenda, it really qualifies to be that part and parcel. And we would see changes in the economic growth and development of this nation. And the community will benefit, as we have seen the community development agreement, which has been signed today.
Through the signing of the CDA, which is the first of its kind in the country, communities living around Kanyika niobium mine are expected to get 0.45% of the mining proceeds, which they will use for development projects of their choice. Before signing the Community Development Agreement, the Australian-based company signed a Mining Development Agreement MDA with Malawi government in March 2023. Chimwemwe Milulu, MBC News, Mzimba.
Delegates of the Democratic Progressive Party DPP from all the districts of the country have started gathering at Komesa Hall in Blantyre for the party's convention slated for tomorrow until Monday. The convention will, among other things, hold elections for office bearers of the party's National Governing Council. And that item brings us to the end of this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories before we leave. United Nations Economic Commission for Africa calls on Southern African Development Community SADC member states to utilize the region's abundant resources in driving economic growth and industrialization. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, reaffirms its commitment to support Malawi in tackling public health challenges. And Inkosi Amakosi Mbelwa 5 calls on communities living around Kanyika niobium mine in Mzimba and Kasungu to unite in order to adequately benefit from mining activities. For more on these and other stories, follow our online platforms, Facebook, X, and our website mbc.mw. You can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You are with me, Arthur Chokoto, and my sign language interpreter, Zavuta Wirima. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Inu! Tamverani! Zachitikanso!